Hello guys, welcome back to Barbie's Diary. My name is Barbara Omodudu and I film about family, career and lifestyle from Edmonton, Canada. How have you all been doing? Trust that you're smashing all the goals and everything you set out to do this new year. No pressure, no pressure, no pressure. Relax, relax and enjoy yourself, okay? Thank you so much for the love on the channel. If you're just seeing me for the first time, thank you for stopping by. It's been an amazing journey since my family and I relocated to Canada in September of 2022. And I have been curating content about the entire process, right from when we received the good news that our visa was ready, up until the time we traveled, what we got up to the first week, and all the beautiful content you've been seeing. I recommend that you go back and watch previous videos where I have spoken about different things on this relocation journey, okay? So for the OGs in the house, the one who's been riding with me since back in the day in Nigeria, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for always supporting this channel. I hope you love what you see. This season I'm ready to do much more sit down videos with you guys. I know I've been rolling out vlogs, and yes, I want that personal touch. I want to speak to you guys on a personal note. So if there's something you want me to share, please let me know in the comment section and I'll be willing and ready to do that. Okay, so let's dive right into it. For sticking around, welcome back to the channel. Like you might already know by the title of this video, I want to speak about how to rent a property in Canada before you arrive. Everything about what you need to do if you want to get your place of residence before you come into Canada. First things first, I'll just give a background story about our own journey. So for my family and I, we got our 2-bed, 2-bath apartment in Edmonton, Canada before we arrived. We did not do it on our own, guys, so I do not take credit, but we're able to rely on the help of a family friend who helped us to source for the apartment and did all the preliminaries before we landed in Canada. So on the very first night we got to Canada in September of 2022, we rode from the airport straight up to our residence. Like, we did not have to stay in any Airbnb, we did not have to pay extra fee for that, we did not have to squat with anybody. I mean, that would have been so uncomfortable because we have 2 kids, right? So 2 adults and 2 kids. Who would house you in Canada? Yeah, there are people that would house you, but you don't want to put people through that stress if you can avoid it. And we were really conscious of that fact, and we made up our mind that we're going to do all it would take legally to ensure that we got our residence before we came into Canada, and God's willing we're able to achieve that. So I'm going to walk you through on how, if you also like us want to do this video is for you. So the first thing I want you to consider is, most people will ask, when do you start sourcing for an apartment? For us, we started sourcing for an apartment 1 month. We started sourcing for an apartment actively 1 month before we got here, and I'll tell you why I said actively. Before that time, we have done all of those things just on surface level before we finally started actively looking for 1 month at a time. And while we were doing all of that on the surface level, we were able to zero in on what exactly we wanted. So because of our family size, we wanted a 2-bed and 2-bath apartments. The ones we were seeing majorly, or the ones a lot of people were recommending to us, was 2-bed and 1-bath, and that was, I don't know, it looked like it was going to be choking because we do not have any kids that wear diapers. So all the kids do not wear diapers in this house. So how are we going to deal with just 1 bathroom if everybody had to go to work and the kids had to go to school and all of those good stuff? So it didn't seem like it was the right apartment for us. And we also let Vanessa know that, okay, it was Vanessa that helped us find the apartment anyway. So we also let Vanessa know that we wanted a 2-bed and 2-bath, and she also understood why, and she keyed in just like that. Okay, so that's something you should consider, your family size. I believe if to save some money, yes, if you get a lower apartment, say a 2-bed 1 bath or 1 bed 1 bath, the fee will be less, so your rental fee will be less. You have to look at your family composition to know what suits you. I'm not here to make that decision for you, okay? If you feel that you guys would be comfortable using that, I mean, I'm with you totally. Okay, so when do you start? I think you should start actively looking for a house. Like, oh, if I get the house now, I'm ready to pay like a month or two before you arrive. So you should have done all your due diligence about, oh, what is the house, how is the housing structure in your province like. Do all of those due diligence much more earlier, right? Do all of those due diligence. Ensure that you have sourced for what areas you would like to live in. Ensure you know how much is the rental fee for those regions and all of those good stuff. Ensure you've done all of those things and narrow down, okay, now I think for our family size, what we need is a 1 bed 1 bath, okay, that kind of thing. And then you start searching for that apartment like a month or two before your date of landing, okay? So how do you search for the apartment? I mean, you're not here. So while you might look for it online and everything looks good, they usually, what I found that they have showrooms. So the showrooms are what you will most likely see online. I sincerely advise that you get somebody that can look at this property for you, a friend or a family member or somebody or an agency. Okay, so there are also agencies that can help you search for apartments and do all of those stuff for you. You can also do it yourself, which I do not recommend, because it's important that somebody physically goes there to see and confirm that all they have advertised online is the same as what you want. Somebody that has as much taste as you have, someone that understands what you want. Because, you know, I had to have conversations with Vanessa and she, you know, we were able to come to understanding, and I could trust her decision that, okay, if she gets me a place, then she's getting me what I want, and we're fine. Okay, so look for that. If you like I said, the best is getting somebody to look for it for you. If you are going to use an agent, obviously, you know, you're going to part with some money. Okay, and if you do not have that to spare, then you might just plead with somebody. Even on Nigerian community groups, you might see someone who would be willing to help you for a fee. It is not so much. If you have somebody to do it for you for free, you're one of the lucky ones. If you like we did, thank you, Vanessa. But if you don't, then you have to pay, and then I guess it is worth it if you have to pay for it, so long as you get what you want. Okay, for the prices, this would also vary based on, I'm sure by now you know, provinces would also come to play when it comes to prices. So provinces have different going rates. Alberta is relatively cheaper than some other provinces, right? And then even within Alberta, Edmonton is relatively cheaper than, say, Calgary or some other places, and there are some other places also that are cheaper than Edmonton. Okay, so the factor that will play in here would be what province you are in, what city you are in that province. I have my notes here, so I'll be looking at my notes. And then the kind of property you want to rent. That would also determine what you would most likely have to pay, the kind of property you rent. So of course, a 1 bed 1 bath would vary in price to a 2 bed 2 bath or a 4 bed 3 bath, something like that. So you need to take that into consideration. The more rooms or the more square meters in the house, the more money you are most likely going to pay, okay, for the price of that property. So that will also determine how much you would be paying. Another factor would be the utilities that will be provided for you. That would also determine how much you get to pay. So like I mentioned, viewing is very important, okay? And why I say viewing is very important is because you want to be sure that you are not being cheated. People scam people. There are job scam, there is housing scam, there is a banking scam. We have scammers too. So you don't want to fall prey to those kind of people. And who are the most people that fall prey to these people are new immigrants, because they know you're desperate, you're looking for somewhere to stay, you don't know anything about the system, and they want to scam you. So you want to be on the lookout for these things. That's why you should get a trusted person to help you handle some of these very important parts of settling in. Okay. You should consider closeness to grocery malls, daycare, bus stops, playground, church, library, pharmacy, health centers. These are the places your house should be close to as a new immigrant. So most likely when you might not have a car for the first few weeks or months when you come in, so you need all of these things I have mentioned to be really close to you, so that you have the ease of going to all of these places without hindrance. Nobody is going to come and be driving you around, and Ubers are really pretty expensive, so you want to save up some money on Uber and use the public bus. And if you want to use the public bus, you need to be able to have it really close to you. You don't want to have to walk 5 minutes before you get to the next bus stop. So you want to have your bus station really close, so that you can leave the house and just walk straight down to the bus stop. For us, the bus stop is literally, I can stretch out my hand and I'll be at the road. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but that's how close it is. It's like less than 1 minute walk. Sometimes I look at the map, the bus is already coming and I can still make the bus. That's how close it is to my house. Okay, so you need nearness to the bus stop. You also need nearness to health centers and pharmacies. For instance, if you fall ill and you need prescription, you need to be able to get there on time. Okay, you also need closeness to your child's daycare. I mean, that goes without saying. Daycares here are not like where we are coming from, where maybe your daycare is like 30 minutes away, 1 hour away, blah blah blah. Your daycare has to be within your surrounding, like 5 minutes drive, maybe 5 minutes walk, 3 minutes walk. Your daycare should not be 25 minutes away, 30 minutes. So you need a daycare that is that. So you have to look for a house that has all of these amenities pretty close to the facility, so that you are not overly stressed. Okay, you also need, of course, closeness to grocery malls where you get your regular day-to-day food, drink, toiletries, all of those things. You need your house to be close to all those places, somewhere you can walk up to. You want to consider how close it is to your church, your local church. If you're a church goer, you want to consider how close it is to your church. Our church is about 7-8 minutes drive from the house, so not so far. And in this town, let me even tell you, I know when I say 5 minutes drive, like that one is like your backyard. Here, 5 minutes drive is long. A 5 minutes drive in Canada is long. Then when we are talking of 15 minutes, 25 minutes, that one is a journey in this Canada. Well, that's what I've come to find out. You know, in Lagos, when you say, I'm coming back in the next 20 minutes, person's like, okay, you're close. You get, but here, if you say 20 minutes, that means you are going really far. That's because the road network is good. You know, there are no traffic and you can just really go. So anything that will make you spend 15 minutes on the road is a long journey. Okay, so yeah, so I've said library, I mean, goes without saying. Recreational centers, playground, where you can literally take your kids to. The playground is 3 minutes away from here. Some evenings I just, especially during the summer, the first month we got here, that was towards the end of summer, I was able to just, you know, in the evenings when I see that the kids are getting bored of staying in the house, okay, let's go out, and then we just stroll to the playground. They have a nice time and we come back. I'm sure I have a video about that on the channel, one of the times we went to the playground. So all of those things are where you want to be close to your house. Libraries, if you need to read, if you need to make a quick photocopy, just be sure that you're somewhere central to all of these things. So that's what you want to consider. And if you're getting somebody to look for a place for you, please let them also put all of this into consideration. Tell them, oh, please watch this video. Tell them, in fact, send them this video, that exactly what Barbara has said here is what I want. Do you understand? So let everybody know that this is what would help you to settle in really nice and easy. Okay, so for prerequisites, what are the things you would need? What will be required of you? I'll just go through what I have here. So you need a lease agreement. So once you have looked at the apartment, the person has sent you pictures or a video of how the place is, and you're comfortable with what you're seeing, and you like the fee, so the rental fee that it's whoever is in charge of the tenancy is proposing, then you begin to talk about lease agreements. So the lease agreement, here you sign just like you have in Nigeria, you sign in Nigeria too, right? So here too, you also sign. They have all of these big things that you should do, you should not do, blah 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 blah. All of those are included in some of the things you sign. So you sign off on your lease agreement that states all your do's and don'ts, what is expected of the facility for you, what is expected of you as a tenant in the facility, and all of those good stuff, what you need to do, what you should not do, what's the benefits your property comes with, the kind of what's it called, the kind of facilities in it. So for instance, our property came with the stove, the dishwasher, came with in-suite laundry, so the washer and dryer. Ours didn't come with a microwave, so we had to buy a microwave ourselves. But some facilities come with a microwave. Imagine that you have to save that money you would have used to buy a microwave, right? So if that's important to you, please ask that you get a facility that has a microwave oven. So yes, a fridge. Yes, so it usually comes with a fridge. Ours came with a fridge too. All of these are things that your facility would come with. You don't have to pay extra for that. It comes with the facility. When you're leaving also, you leave it there, of course. So yeah, so I was talking about you signing off on the lease agreement. So the lease might also include all of these details. Please read everything on that paper. It's really important. Here, laws work, rules work. What you need to do, you need to do. What I need to do, I need to do. What we have signed up for, we need to hold our end of the bargain. No dropping of the ball from any of us. So you don't want to be slammed with a lawsuit for something you could have avoided, or have to pay towing fee for something you could have avoided. So please just play by the rules. Here, rules work, and you need to play by the rules. That is why it's important that you read the agreement thoroughly. Don't be rushed. Don't allow anybody rush you. Please sign it now and send it in the next 5 minutes. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know I'm saying this 3 times because we fell prey to that. We're in a hurry, we signed off, and we're not able to negotiate some of the things we ordinarily should have negotiated on. Okay, so I'm advising you, don't be in a hurry. Don't quickly sign off on anything. Read thoroughly. If you don't understand, ask your guide, whoever is guiding you, ask the person questions, let them explain better so that you can get the best. The idea is you want to get the best. It's unfair that I get to pay $5 for something and somebody else is paying $1. So you want to ensure that you're also enjoying the same benefit as the next person. So please ask questions and ensure you're negotiating properly. Okay, so you also need, when you're filling the lease agreement, the management in charge of the facility might also ask you to provide pre-authorized deposits. That's just something that kicks off your payment every first of the month. So if is that the payment time, that means that you do not have to always go to the bank every first of the month to pay your rent. It just automatically authorizes that deposit into their own account. So on the first, you will just see that the money is flying from your account out to their account. Yes, that's every first of the month. So whenever it's saying happy new month, you are looking at your bank balance, you're like, oh. So that's what it is. So they would ask that you fill that pre-authorized deposits, blah blah blah, jargons. Yeah. You also need to get insurance for the property. I think the least, I don't know, this might depend based on province or also based on the property. But for our property, we had to get insurance for a year that covers, I think, 2 million liabilities, something like that. Yeah, so you have to shop around for best insurance deals, and they might recommend one for you also, and then you have to, that's something they also need before they will rent out the property to you. So you must get that insurance sorted out. You also need to get, the electricity has been sorted, but then you need to change it to your name or something like that, yeah, so that you can start receiving the bill for the units that you use in that building for the month. So you also need to get that sorted. They need to see that too. What they also need from you will be the security deposit. This would also vary. Our security deposits, I cannot even tell you how much it was, because it looks like, I told you now, we're almost desperate, so they use us to shine very well. So I don't want you to fall for all of that. Please ensure that when we came in and we started asking questions, we found out that some people were even getting less, some people got less where some people were asked to pay less amounts as security deposit for their own property, but where we are, we even paid more. So please ensure that for security deposits, you should negotiate and look around and be sure that what you are asked to pay is what majority in the area is paying as security deposits. They would ask for that. That is a prerequisite. So prerequisite would be the lease agreement. You must sign off on it. You must sign off on the pre-authorized deposits ish. You must sign off on insurance, electricity, and then the security deposit. They may also ask for a number of documents from you. So they will ask to see your proof of income. So they want to see that you are able to sustain payment of the rent for maybe the next 3 months, pending when you get a new job, right? So they want to see that you have enough funds in your account to pay your rent for 3 months or 6 months, depends on their own policy. So don't be surprised if anybody's asking to see your proof of income or pay stub. They may also want to see a government issued ID card. Right now you might not have any ID card from Canada, but you sure would have your international passport and your confirmation of permanent residence. So you would send them that document and they'll be able to know that, okay, they're legally renting the house to someone that should legally be in Canada. I hope I said that correctly. Okay, they want to see your credit score and bank statements. Maybe as they ask for, I guess, to 6 months or something, bank statement. So they want to see your bank statement also. Yeah, they would ask for how much you earn, maybe some pay stub, just all those normal things to be sure that you are responsible and you can keep paying the rent. Okay, so you also need to pay the first rent, right? The first rental fee. When you're paying your security deposit, you also pay the first rental fee. So if your rental fee is 1,500, you'll be expected to pay that first rental fee immediately before you move in. Remember, all the documents you need to show that in before you move in. Nobody will release the key for you if they don't see all of these things. There's no begging, there's no please, there's no I'm sorry, there's no next tomorrow. Now. Okay, so there's that. All right, so yes, I've spoken about insurance. So basically all of these things are what you should consider. Also, I would also say for myself, it was important that I know what the pet policy is. So some people allow for pets. You get some building, they don't allow pets at all. Our building allows pets, right? But for some, I've seen some that they do not allow pets at all for their buildings. If you know you are not someone that loves pets, then you can go for all those ones. If you know that you are indifferent, you can have something like ours that allows for pets. I think it allows for 1 pet per apartment, something like that. So, and you have a fee to also pay for your pets, right? Yes. And then you also have to consider parking. So for parking, there's surface parking and there's underground parking. So usually the surface parking is cheaper. The underground parking come at an extra fee, right? And so for the surface parking, obviously in summer everybody pays for surface parking. That's because there's no need for underground parking. The weather is fine, there is no snow, everything is easy peasy, and you're able to save some cash. But in times like this, like the winter, you have to pay for underground parking, and that would come at an extra fee. So for some apartments, parking is inclusive in the rent. So they tell you, okay, your apartment is 1,500 inclusive of 1 surface parking and 1 underground parking. But that was not the case for ours. Our rent is exclusive of parking. So we'll pay for rent and then we'll pay for parking. So you either pay for surface or underground, whichever suits you. Nobody is forcing you. If you don't want to pay, you don't park in the space for the building, for the apartment. If you do and you park in someone's space, your car will be towed and you would have to pay for towing. Yes, nobody's going to come and look for you. You just find out that you are looking for your car. So, like I said, it's funny, but rules work. Like in your own building, you do not have the express rights to just park. Yes, you have to either pay for parking or you pay in the spot that has been designated for you. If you park in someone else's spot, your car might be towed, and the the funny part of this all is that you will be the one to pay for it. Like how? So at first I was arguing until I read it somewhere and I'm like, oh, sorry guys. So yes, you get to pay for that space, that car that was stowed out if you park illegally where you're not supposed to park. Even if you've paid and that is not your slot, you do not park there if it's empty. That's how it works. Yes, funny but true. And then you have visitors parking. That would also, you get tickets for those ones. It's just a bunch of, you know, different things. But if you have a family, right, it's always good to consider areas that are good enough to raise children, areas that are good enough for family life. You don't want to be in areas where you cannot come out at night. You're scared that somebody is going to maybe speak to you violently, or you're scared that you might see something on the road. You know, you want to stay in a family-oriented area, which is something I admire so much about where we stay. Like, it is so peaceful, it's so cool. Like, yeah, that was how we're able to get our property. We got a family friend to help us out with viewing the apartment and with all this preliminary stuff we had to do. She was helpful with the electricity, the internet, the deposits we had to pay, the first rent. You know, we just transferred money to our family friend and they just did all the good stuff for us. They were sending us pictures, sending us documents, and we're just seeing the, of course, it's a global world. It's easy to sign off documents on your phone and send it to another country in the next 1 minute. So we're doing all of that. Once we see, we sign off, we send, she prints out here, she gives it to them. And by the time we're coming into Canada on the 24th of September, we're literally getting our key from her and opening our door and entering our own house. Good thing we also asked her to help us to get beds, foam. So we slept on bed. We did not have to sleep on bare floor or, you know, squeeze ourselves somewhere. We immediately started arranging and certain things out, and from day one we had everything easy peasy. I know that this might not be the story for a lot of people. I know that some people might not even have, you know, the resources to get all of this ready. Even if you have the money, you might not have the person to do it. Even if you have the person, you might not have the money to do it. I know that this might not be the case, but I highly advise that if you have the means, please consider getting your property before you come in here. It saves you cost of Airbnb. If you don't have that and you want to tow the path we took, right, please, these are the things you have to consider. Ensure you have all these monies. You see the monies flying out because you pay for security deposits, which you can still collect at the end of your tenancy. At that time, the facility management will come and inspect the house and be sure that there are no damages on the property, and then they will refund you the security deposits, right? That's what I heard. We have not spent 1 year, so we don't know. And then your tenancy is usually for a 1 year period. So if you want to leave before that 1 year period, I guess you get to lose some amount of money, or you get, I think there are some penalties attached to it. So your tenancy is usually for a 1 year period in the first instance. Okay, so when you're going with the mindset of you're spending at least 1 year in this place. If you need to leave beforehand, which most likely can happen due to different factors, then you might consider getting somebody to come and sublease the property, or you might have to part with some money to the facility management. So I hope I've been able to speak about every part of this, getting your rental property before arriving in Canada. If you have more questions for me, please leave them in the chat box and I would respond to them as quickly as I can. All right, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like, share. If you keep liking this video, YouTube is able to send it out to more and more people who would definitely love this content and who are interested in this type of content. So please keep liking, keep recommending. If you know you are coming to Canada very soon, stay on this channel. All the juice, all the information you need, trust me, I have them ready and available to give to you for free. So thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye guys.